It sure was nice for Mariah and her friends to let us use some of their equipment.
Only after that Joseph guy begged her to.
I paused to look around. We decided to wait until nightfall to go look around some more. It's like an entirely different world the further you get from the insanity. Quiet and calm, only the lights of the stars and the faint glow of the campground. The campers and motorhomes flickering in the distance. Mariah fiddles with the metal detector's headphones, removing them halfway.
Sorry, the beeping's loud. What was that?
Forget it, I'm not playing that game. Just keep listening.
Oh!
Did you find something?
I think so. It's over here.
I set aside my shovel and throw myself to the ground, clawing at the sand. A shiny speck sticks out of the ground. Practically, I dig it up.
Is it the gold?
It's...
I scrape harder.
It's...
Harder.
It's...
Finally, I unearth it and hold it up to the starlight.
A soda tab. Damn it! This is the 5th one!
If we find any more, we could start making a curtain out of them.
I send the tab flying, speeding off over the dikes.
Maybe we should call it a night. I'm sure we can find it once we're fresh in the morning.
Nah, that's no good. We can only do it now because Parks and Recreation isn't paying as much attention.
Though even now, someone's still guarding the area near the campground. The rocks give us some cover, so I don't think we'll be spotted. But we still need to be careful.
We'll keep looking for a little while. If we can't find anything, we might want to assume the worst.
Her face wrenches with hopelessness.
That somebody else found it?
That it doesn't exist! Jeez, it's like you've never even considered that it might not be real.
But Mariah...
Yeah, I know.
I grab my shovel and swing it back over my shoulder. As we walk, we stay as close to the mountain range as possible.
Why are you so gung-ho about this thing anyway? If you're just in it for the cash, there are better ways to make money than dragging yourself around the desert.
Oh no, it's nothing like that. It's just...
Her voice trails off and hangs over us, never fully evaporating into the cold night air.
It's okay. Don't feel like you have to tell me.
We both have things we don't want to talk about. That's becoming very clear. At least Marina doesn't swerve off the road so she can go pout. I just don't want to think about it all. All I've been doing for the last month is thinking about it. I almost wish my brain would quit working so I wouldn't have to. So naturally, I take a long, lonely trip with nothing to do except think.
Amber! It's happening again!
Marina stops, hands quivering as she tightens her grip.
I swear, if this is another soda tab...
I don't think it is. The beeping is really loud, and it's vibrating a lot.
Wait, it's vibrating?
Uh-huh. It feels weird.
The metal detector hovers over the ground between the rock and the sand. I thrust my shovel into the spot, the metal scraping against the edge of the dike. Planting my foot on the shovel's head, I drive it further into the ground, using every ounce of my strength to dig. The first load of dirt and sand unclenches from the ground, loosening the earth around it. I throw the load aside and repeat the process. Each time, it's a little easier, a little lighter. Finally, the shovel strikes something hard, sending a shocking vibration through my hand and up my entire body.
Bedrock?
I haven't dug that deep.
Dropping to my knees, I reach my hands into the hole and brush off the remaining dirt. Marina leans in, the sound of her anxiety swallowing is barely audible. Okay, I get it. Her anxiously swallowing, oh my gosh, I'm terrible, is barely audible over my heavy breathing. My fingers brush just against something. I gulp and pull out the whole contents, a small, rotting wood box. My heart stops. Trembling, I open the box, the leftover dirt falling into my lap. Gold.
It exists? It exists?
It exists!
Marina yells at the top of her lungs, a yell so loud that it bounces off the mountain, echoing off to the horizon and then back again. Marina has been unleashed.
Shh, not so loud. They might hear us.
She lowers her voice to an excited whisper, channeling her energy into bouncing up and down.
But it exists! I told you it did!
She's right, and despite being proven wrong, I can't help but smile. Here I thought it was going to be some plastic treasure chest with a coupon for chocolate milk inside, or something equally shameless and corporate.
Amber!
Aww. My only warning is a quick gust of wind. Before I even had a chance to brace for it, I'm engulfed in Marina and her hug. By
What?
Marina nod.
It's real! I told you it was! I told you!
I stop for a second, then smile.
Yeah, you were right. It's real.
Should we tell someone? What do we even do now?
Honestly, I'm not sure. It's getting pretty late, though. Let's pack it up for the night. We can think about what to do in the morning.
For now, we can just marvel at the fact that it's not bogus.
Sound like a plan?
It does, but...
She takes a deep, long breath, inhales all the air around him, maybe even some of mine, then releases it all at once.
It's actually really real!
Shh! Marina, quiet! They're gonna hear us.
That's pretty good. They actually did find the gold this time. That's gonna make this a lot more interesting. I heard that there's a good and bad ending to this game, though. I hope I do well. I think there is. This is the remastered versions, I don't know. A thunderous banging wakes me from a deep sleep, rattling the entire motorhome.
Hey! I know you two are in there! You thieves better not still be sleeping!
The muffled shout leaks in from the outside, followed by another voice.
Sis, it's not even 7. Can I go back to bed?
And another voice.
You're better off just rolling with it. For her, it may as well be noon.
Open up, or I swear Joe's gonna bust down this door!
Wait, what?
He's my spirit animal, I swear. I'd be like, wait, what? Wait, I didn't agree to this. Gee, I wonder who this could be. I roll out of bed and open the slider connecting to the other rooms. Marina is sitting pressed up against the back of the fold-out bed with the sheets over her head.
Who do you think it is?
Take a wild guess.
I march over and throw open the door. As expected, my 3 favorite people stand before me.
It's about time! Do you have any idea how long we've been out here?
A groggy Tess sways from side to side. Joseph's gentle hands are the only thing preventing her from passing out on the ground.
It's funny that you, of all people, would accuse us of theft.
What else would you call what happened to my equipment?
I don't know. Borrowing? You loaned it to us, remember?
Correction. Joe loaned it to you.
Joseph gives a tired smirk and a wave.
I was forced to sit idly by and watch you make off with it. That's theft if I ever seen it.
He pushes me aside and clambers into the motorhome, followed by the other 2.
Looks like we're coming in.
Good morning.
Hey, you 3! Morning! How are you guys doing?
Tired. For what it's worth, we tried stopping her.
Maria stomps in the middle of the motorhome, analyzing everything before releasing a loud scoff.
So where's my stuff?
If you don't get out of my RV in 5 seconds, it'll be shoved up your ass.
Don't worry about it. You guys are great. Hey, Tess, did you hang up your new wind chime?
Tess's eyes flicker with interest for all of a second, then return to their obstinate, droopy state.
Uh-huh. Above my bed.
What's up with the fold-out? You two don't sleep together?
What?
Told ya.
See? I love Joseph, he's awesome.
Damn it.
Grumbling, Maria pulls a bill from her pocket and slaps it in Joe's hand. They made a bet. Oh my god. I love it.
Does that mean we get to sleep in tomorrow morning?
Sure does, kiddo. Sure does.
The ringleader of the circus returns to inspecting the motorhome, fiddling with the magnets on the fridge.
Anyway, give me back my equipment and we'll get out of your hair.
Come on, just let them use it. It's the least we can do after tearing apart her car.
Maria's attention turns to the counter, topped with the opened box of stunning gold nuggets from the night before.
And whose fault was that? What is this?
What is what?
The thing on the counter? It almost looks like...
Oh, that? That's the piece of the treasure we found.
Ha! Yeah, right! You're kidding.
She chuckles. She stops.
She's kidding, right?
I have a devious thought and crack an equally devious smile.
Nope. She's telling the truth. 100%.
I wrap my arm around Maria and bring her close. Joseph and Tess shoot each other alarmed glances.
We found it last night. With your equipment.
She stands there, stupefied.
No! That's impossible. You're lying.
Really now? Hey, Marina, why don't you tell her about it?
Sure thing! It started yesterday after we met. Amber looked at the journal again and thought it might be near the smaller rocks behind the bigger one. They're called dikes, I think. Anyway, turns out she was right!
Maria looks down, muttering to herself.
But how? Why wouldn't he just hide it on the mountain? It doesn't make sense. If he was going back to Missouri...
Her voice diminishes until her words are reduced to lip flaps. Like mad scientists trying to figure out a complex equation, she retreats into her own little world.
Mariah?
Yeah, Mariah ain't doing so good. A smidge of sympathy buds inside me. I look to Joseph and Tess. Even they look a little shocked.
Is she gonna be okay?
I honestly don't know.
Tess approaches Maria, who is still whispering nonsense under her breath. Nonchalantly, Tess hops in front of her, and her hand reaching upwards, trying to wave it in front of Maria and bringing her back to our world. No response. Tess pulls Maria's arms skyward, then allows them to flop down to her side. Still no response.
You know, we've been looking into that treasure since we were kids.
Joseph steps up to the counter and stares into the box.
Never expected someone else to find it before us.
That's more than I can say. I didn't even think it existed.
There's that too.
He sighs, then with a shrug, cracks a smile.
Well, good job anyway. You ladies seem cool, so if it couldn't be us, then at least it was you.
You guys want to stick around? We could tell you more about it.
He looks at Maria.
Somehow, I don't think that would be healthy for her. Or you.
He grabs Maria by the shoulders and begins pushing her towards the exit.
Come on, Mariah. Let's go make you a nice cold michelada. You two can keep the equipment. Think of it as an apology gift.
Because cheaply made tools I could get at a hardware store are of equal value to a car. They're almost out of the motorhome when Mariah flips and rushes back.
Hold on a minute, thief!
She looks me straight in the eyes. Her expression returns to that of a piercing hawk.
You just had beginner's luck. You might have found the first piece, but I promise you, me and my team will find the rest.
She extends a hand and smirks. I pause for a moment, then grab it and offer a smirk of my own.
You're on.
Marina and Joseph both both let out a sigh of relief, as if they're just witnessed the signs of a peace treaty.
Well, guess that takes care of that.
Now let's get out of here and go back to a proper base.
Are you going to drink until you feel better again, sis?
Are you gonna go back and be a raging alcoholic, sis?
Shut up! Didn't Mom ever teach you any manners?
You always said Mom is an airheaded ditz who wouldn't know good advice or a good man if it bit her on the butt.
Ooh.
Oh yeah!
Sorry for all the trouble, ladies. See you two down the road.
Joseph pulls the door closed. Marina and I stay put as the bickering of the trio fades into the distance.
Were you serious?
About what?
The treasure. You told Mariah that you were gonna find the rest. If you were just being nice and want to leave now, that's fine too. You've already done a lot for me.
She casts her eyes downward to hide her emotions, but I know better by now.
And let you keep all the treasure for yourself? Hell no.
Her eyes bounce back.
Besides, someone's gotta keep you from getting yourself into trouble. May as well be me.
For real? But don't you have the festival to go to?
It's still a little while away. I wanted to do some sightseeing anyway.
Marina launches forward. Before I could sidestep, she tackles me with the force of a gold-filled freight train. I don't even try to resist. It's futile in the grace of Marina's hug.
Thank you, 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 thank you!
I like Marina.
Actually, I probably owe you an apology.
She cocks her head and looks up at me. I look away, my bashful side taking over.
Well, you know, I kept saying it wasn't real and stuff.
Hey, don't worry about it. Most people wouldn't have given me the time of day.
Yeah, but
Relax. Just figure out where we have to go next.
I smile. We walk to the front of the RV and take our seats, grabbing the journal from the glove compartment. I flip it open. I glance over the second to last entry. Key phrases like split path, detour, and acres of identical arched stone throw my brain into a deep end, drowning me in dizzying puzzles before I've even fully read it. Marina pinks over, trying to decipher the entries with me. A speck of inadequacy crawls up inside me, and I quickly flip to the next entry before Marina notices I'm stuck. I'll deal with that later. For now, we'll just narrow this down. Much has happened since my last entry, so let me waste no time in beginning. As I mentioned previously, I have begun to develop a cough of sorts during my travel. At the time, I thought nothing of it, just a result of being overexposed to the elements. After all, a handsomely rugged and worldly man such as myself should be used to such things. But I digress. Unfortunately, the more I continued under the blazing sun, the more my condition worsened, until finally my body gave out. The last thing I remember is falling off of my steed. Sometime later, I awoke next to a fire, and my horse nearby. I, myself, could not move, as I was held down by illness and sweat, but I was reassured by a man sitting across from me. Upon further inspection, I realized he was a native of this land. I had several encounters with people of his sort during my time on the wagon trail, so naturally I was suspicious and fearful for the remainder of my gold. However, the man said he had no interest in such things. A dry, quiet fellow. The man told me his name was Lamasi, and that I was in a canyon his people occupied, although they had been driven to a different segment of it some years back. His his English was quite fluent, and when I inquired, he said he had learned from settlers as a boy. Over the next several days, Lamasi would nurse me back to health. We would never stray too far, as he preferred looking after his estranged tribe from the distance. But I was able to explore portions of his home. Eventually I stumbled upon a long ruined home built into a cave onto the side of the mountain. According to Lamasi, there are many more like it, though they originally belonged to enemies of his ancestors. It was then that I realized where I would leave the next portion of my bounty. On my last day with him, I informed Lamasi of my plans, where he casually promised to guard it for me until I returned. But before I left, he pointed me in the direction of the sacred landmark, one so giant and huge. It would simultaneously be a conspicuous and inconspicuous hiding place. With that knowledge, I bid farewell to my new friend and trusted the gold in his care. Perhaps I will reward him with some of it on the return trip.
You're my Lamesi, Amber.
Aww. Lamesi. Suddenly my chest feels like a hummingbird is fluttering around in it. I shift my eyes away from her smile and hide my face.
Thanks.
When you strip away the circumstances, I guess I did save and protect her from that Lamasi guy, like that Lamasi guy did with the miner.
A gorge is like a canyon, right?
Marina leans in closer and points to the entry, strands of her hair tickling my cheek. I scoot back and power through it, taking a sharp breath to recollect myself.
Basically, yeah.
Marina nearly springs, man, English so hard, out of her seat in a burst of realization, her head an inch away from smacking into the ceiling.
Oh my god. Does that mean we get to go to the Grand Canyon? Do we get to go to the Grand Canyon, Amber?
Not unless history decides to rewrite itself. There are lots of canyons with ruins. One of them is the Grand Canyon, but most of them have been cleaned out for hundreds of years.
I choked down a groan. Indian ruins aren't exactly rarities around here. Maybe that other entry wasn't so bad after all.
So we're looking for a place that was still being used in the 1850s.
Marina hunkers down and thinks with me, wrinkles forming on her forehead as she tries to strain out an answer. I'm pretty sure she doesn't even know where to start. But hey, at least she's tried.
Well, there is one place.
Marina hardly gets a breath out before I crush her dreams once again.
Not the Grand Canyon.
Dreams crushed. She slings back into her chair and quickly pouts. Oh, quietly
It's still
pouts.
in Arizona, but it's a different place. Canyon de Chelly. The Navajo weren't chased out until 1863, so the timing isn't too screwy. Place is loaded with ruins, too.
Oh, are they Puebloan ruins?
My flow of information stops. She knows what I'm talking about. She can actually pronounce it.
Yeah. I'm surprised you know that.
Yep, I've been reading some of those travel guides lying around. Super interesting.
Those things must be about as old as I am by now. I didn't have the heart to throw them away when I was cleaning everything out.
Hey, that's how I did it. It's the best way to learn. Anyway, Canyon de Chelly is pretty damn close to here.
She gasps.
So it might have lined up with the route he took.
Well, I can't be 100% positive, but...
I closed my eyes and snapped the book shut. The air between the pages puffed out at us. Then, with one eye open, shoot Marina a grin.
I'm pretty sure.